welcome to another episode of Local Wisdom. I'm Justin Underwood, your marvelous mortgage guy. I'm here with Dawn Bailey, realtor extraordinaire.
Good morning.
How is it going?
I'm tired.
Guys, we're tired. You know, we decided to do an episode of Local Wisdom the day after Halloween.
Yeah, terrible idea.
Who puts Halloween on a Monday? Like, whoever figured out the calendar, they realized that Halloween on a Monday is not a great idea.
Yeah, I'm dragging.
So you got kids.
Yeah.
Tell me what you did for Halloween.
A lot of candy.
A lot of candy.
Gosh, we did fall festival at the school where I got roped into working pretty much all day. Wasn't planning on that. But it was fun. And then we, of course, got them and scrambled and got them ready and went trick-or-treating with friends.
What neighborhood did you go to?
We went to Mallard Estates this year.
Mallard Estates. Maybe we should do an episode next year leading up to Halloween, best neighborhoods to trick-or-treat in.
Briar Cliff is also good because it's small and easy to get in and out, and you're done in like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So.
You know where Ashlyn went? Squire Creek.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah, she did. She said they were giving out money.
No, they weren't.
Yes.
No way.
She said they were giving out money and, you know, whole candy bars and all this kind of cool stuff.
Everybody's going to go to Squire Creek next year.
Yeah, everybody.
Because of this
Local
podcast.
Wisdom episode. Go to Squire Creek, the orchards for your Halloween trick-or-treats. Look, the weather last night
Oh, it's nice.
could not have been better.
That's great.
I mean, other than being on a Monday night.
Yeah, that was tough.
It was intense. Monday was intense. There was a lot going on work-wise and in my world. I'm sure your world too. And I actually had something planned that afternoon that I had to do. And I was like, hey, dude, we forgot it was Halloween. Like, I can't do that. So we went to church. And our church did we like to call it Reformation Day. And so a lot of people may not know, but on, this time of year, that's when Martin Luther nailed the 95 Theses to the Catholic Church door. And so we have Halloween is what, a lot of people look at the calendar, and it's also Reformation Day. So it's kind of cool. And today is Holy Day, which is Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Halloween. Yeah, you're learning something, aren't you?
Learning something. Yes, I am. I did not know that. I just thought we got candy.
Well, you know what else is kind of scary? Not Halloween, but people, they don't know what happens to their mortgage after they close on their home loan.
That's right. They don't.
Yeah, so today's episode, we're going to talk about, what happens to your mortgage after you close. So, Dawn, do you get, questions, related to, hey, if I'm going to use this lender, what's going to happen? Anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mainly with first-time home buyers who don't understand what that means and, which banks do sell the mortgage and which ones don't, and if it really makes any difference or not.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, are they going to sell my mortgage?
Yeah.
And you kind of get some, I don't know what the right term is, but just, hey, I'm local. I want to deal with local, and I want to deal with local all the way through the mortgage process, right?
Yep.
And so they're asking, hey, are you going to sell my mortgage? And what's the answer? Do you know?
Depends on the bank.
It depends on a lot of different things.
Okay.
But almost without question, if you're doing a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, it's going to Fannie, Freddie, or Ginnie,
Yep.
which is conventional FHA, USDA, VA.
Yeah.
Your loan is getting sold.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which bank it is.
Nope.
It doesn't matter which bank it is. And so here, I wanted to clear up some, misconceptions that are out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you close on your home loan and the check's written and it's given to, all parties involved and distributed and all that kind of stuff, and your mortgage is recorded at the title company, that loan's actually not done. It's still got a process that it's going through. And it feels like the finish line to the homeowner, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like the finish line maybe to the realtors and so forth. Title company knows they have some work to do afterwards. But we're still, as the lender, we're packaging that loan to make sure it's a sellable loan.
So is that why they give those coupons in the packet just in case it's not ready by that point?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. That's a great question. So they're saying, hey, here's a coupon because you may not actually get your first payment letter in time for your first payment.
I don't know that I've ever had anybody that actually had to use those payment coupons though. So I guess that's good. Not that I'm aware of.
I have.
Okay.
And yeah, because what's happening is there's quality control. There's things that are happening that gets the loan ready to what we call ship or sell. Okay. And these loans are going into bonds for the most part. Okay. And so they're you can basically just say that they're always being sold.
Okay.
Okay. Now the question is who services the debt? Who services the debt? And this is what I think confuses people. Okay. And even though you may close your loan, say, at Origin Bank, right? But that loan is sold. The servicer may remain Origin or it may go to a third-party servicer.
Which would be like Wells Fargo or something like that.
It could be Wells Fargo. It could be a number of different places. We happen to use someone called DMI or Dovemule. We call it DMI because nobody wants to pronounce it. Dovemule.
Yeah.
They're one of the largest servicers of mortgages in the world. But basically, a servicer is someone who collects the payment.
That's all they do.
And they manage the escrow, okay? And they make sure a payment is delivered to the bond or to where the loan is sold every month.
Okay.
Even if the customer doesn't pay. Even if the customer doesn't pay, the servicer has to deliver payment to the person that owns the mortgage.
Oh.
A lot of people don't realize this.
Never knew that.
Think of it like a landlord, okay? You own rental property,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of landlords, they don't, pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for their rental properties. They borrow the money for it.
Yeah.
Okay?
We still have to pay that note even if the tenant doesn't.
Even if the tenant doesn't pay,
That's
you
right.
have to pay the note. So guess what you are? A servicer of the debt.
Okay.
And the person enjoying the home, you're like, hey, I'm servicing this rental property, and if I can convince you to pay on time,
Great.
then I'll deliver payment to the bank, the owner of the mortgage,
Yeah.
right? And you get to keep the difference.
Okay.
Well, guess what a servicer does? They have a spread that they can make on the loan for servicing it, meaning they're doing the work to answer all the questions for the client every month if they have them. They're doing the work of making sure escrows are properly funded, and if there's an issue with insurance, like they can handle that, and they make sure they collect the payment on time and collect any late fees associated with it.
Okay.
But they're delivering payment to the bond every month, even if they don't pay. And guess what that makes bonds? A safe investment. A safe investment, which is a huge it's a huge mechanism financially in our country, and that's why it's really important that that this remain a safe investment.
How did I not know that after 13 years?
Well,
Never.
and so the question isn't, is your mortgage going to be sold? The answer is yes. The question is, who's going to service it? Now, some lenders have a servicing wing of their organization,
Yeah.
and so they may originate the loan and service it.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you something. Servicing is hard. Imagine servicing a mortgage when COVID happens and the president comes out and says, you don't have to make your payment. Guess what the servicer had to do?
Make that payment.
Continue to make the payments.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of risk there, unless, especially now after that's, anytime a precedent has been set, it gets done again, right? So it's probably going to happen again in the future. I hope not, but the precedent's been set. And so it's hard work to be a servicer of a mortgage, but that's what's happening. They're collecting that payment every month to make sure it's delivered to the bond. And then the debt servicing can be sold to other servicers. So that's happening. So you may have a mortgage, say, for 7 years, and you're sending payments to 3 different people. You're like, hey, my mortgage keeps getting sold. No, it was sold once, more than likely. The servicing keeps getting sold.
Got changed.
Changed. And so that happens. And so that's why it's really important when after you close your home loan, you may have been given, this first payment letter or a coupon, to use your word. You got to pay attention to the mail because you don't know who's going to actually service that debt.
So what makes them change the servicers? Like what? Just
they bundle them together and they're like, hey, I've got some good ones and I got some bad ones. Which you got to take some bad ones with the good ones.
Yeah.
And so they're making risk-based decisions and they're selling them off and they're
Gotcha.
moving them. And there's, I don't want to get into the heady part of it because it gets pretty complicated about, what makes these profitable and all this kind of stuff and at what, place they are. Meaning, example, imagine originating a loan right now at 7%. How long do you think that loan is going to be serviced? Not long.
yeah.
Because if Lord willing, if rates go down, it's going to be refinanced.
Yeah.
So there's going to be no profit in that loan.
In that one, yeah.
And so holding that debt service isn't very profitable and you don't really want it.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot going on right now in the market because of that. And so, but the big takeaway today, the local wisdom for today is to know that your mortgage, almost regardless of where you get it closed, as long as you're doing a 30-year fixed rate Fannie Freddie Ginnie product, is going to be sold. The question is, who's going to service it? Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can actually explain that to clients now. Before I was like, yeah, it is, but
Yeah. Well, I
Not
mean,
a big deal.
so banks like Origin, what we've done is we have we basically utilize a company that we say powers our servicing. So we're still connected to it. You can still pay your payments through the drive-through
yeah,
and
it
have
still
that
says Origin
local-
on the thing. Yeah.
Yep. but we have a third party helping us service it because it's not the same as originating a mortgage.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole different animal compared to servicing. It's not the same. And so having someone who specializes in that and does that really efficiently and really well is important in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Very
Good to know.
good. Awesome. Well, let's get to
Top 5.
top 5. Let's do
All
it.
right. If some of this is wrong, I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I had no printer.
Oh man.
So I wrote it all down.
So you mean you might have wrote some typos in the top 5?
There might be. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm going
let's
to
get to
apologize
it.
to all the agents. And I will get some ink today, so it will
It will be better
be
next time.
better next time. Halloween got me.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to start with number 1. Number 5.
Number 5. Let's
number
do it. There's the first typo.
See, I don't have it written. It is 132 Blue Sky Drive in Monroe.
Yeah, the all White House.
Yes, it's new construction, about 2,100 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It was listed at $365 by
Okay.
Slagle and Shelby McGuffey, which I think Shelby is his nephew.
I'm not sure.
I believe he's his nephew.
I don't think it's his son.
It's not his son.
Yeah.
I think it's his nephew.
Well-
I sold a house with him. And it sold for $360 by Slagle. 94 days on the market, $170 a square foot.
There's a good chance that 94 days was just completing the project. you
Waiting
know?
on it to get it. Because
Yeah.
even in they only posted one picture and it wasn't quite finished.
That probably means that they put it under contract while it's being worked on
Yep.
and then close as soon as they could get
Yeah.
a final inspection.
Yep, exactly.
So good job, Monroe.
Okay. Number 4 was 390 Howard Road in Columbia. It was listed by Sam Nelson. It started out at
Oh,
$400.
wait a minute. So we have 2 that had the same price. We had 421 Raymond Drive and we had 390 Howard Road.
They're not the same price though.
They didn't?
No,
375?
and 360. I mean, yes, 132 sold for 360. Is
One-
that a typo?
Yeah, it's so 421 Raymond Drive sold for 375. And that's what we have as number 4.
Oh, the next one. Sorry. Golly, I'm so tired.
Yeah,
Okay,
Halloween
yes,
got
we
to
had-
her.
We had, yes, I was looking above. Yes, they did sell for the same price. So did I flip those on the screen?
Nope, I did.
Oh,
I did.
That's why you brought it up.
Yep.
So we're gonna stick with 390 Howard Road, or do you want me to go to Raymond?
No, so number 4 we have as 420. We have a tie for 4 and 3.
Okay.
We have 421 Raymond Drive sold for 375.
Yep.
And number 3 we have 390 Howard Road sold for 375.
And oddly enough, both of those are listed by Sam Nelson.
Oh, so he gets credit for both.
He gets credit for both.
He's
Yeah.
3 and 4.
There was Ramiro Gomez.
Yeah.
Gomez was the listing agent as well on 421 Raymond. So Raymond was 67 days on the market. It looked like a flip. It was really
Okay.
nice. Like it had been totally updated. It was on the bayou. I couldn't see any pictures of the bayou, but it was really pretty. And that one was sold by Tasha Strouder. So the whole THL.
Oh man, they
team,
killed
yeah.
it for number 4 and 3. However you flip flop them.
Yeah. So 390 Howard Road in Columbia, which was another Sam Nelson, was sold by David Albritton, another THLT team member. It was listed at 400, reduced to 400,000, reduced to 385,000, and then sold for 375,000.
Yeah, that's a big price for Columbia. I mean,
Yeah.
last I checked anyway.
It was a 5-bedroom, 3-bath with a pond,
Ooh, that
so
sounds
on
nice.
6 acres.
Little
That's
getaway then.
Okay, so now we're on number
Number 2.
2. 535 Coleman Road in Homer, Louisiana. So this one was on Lake Claiborne.
Yeah.
Correct?
When you hear Homer, do you think, the ancient writer or The Simpsons?
The Simpsons.
Okay.
100%. 100%. So this one was listed originally at $699.9,
Yeah.
reduced to $649, and then sold for $580,000. It was 317 days on the market. Pam Jones listed and sold it, and it was again, like I said, on the lake.
Miss
With the
Pam.
dock.
And she has her own real estate company now. I
Yes,
think.
it was. I looked it up. What was it? Louisiana Southern. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But good job, Miss Pam.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Awesome.
Okay, number 1.
This isn't just number 1.
It's
This is a candidate for a top 5 sale of the entire year.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I was sad again, they only had like 8 pictures and I wanted to stalk them. But it was
Okay.
what I could see in the 8 pictures was really pretty.
Oh, we have a stalker here. Okay, all right.
Yes,
You announced
so,
that for everyone to hear.
On houses, yes.
Okay.
So 180 Oliver Point Drive in
Yeah.
Jonesboro. So this would be Caney Lake.
Caney Lake.
Okay, yeah.
That's right.
It was listed at $1,250,000. dollars.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. And sold for 1 point.
Are you not used to saying those?
No,
big
I'm
numbers?
not. I'm not. 1,150,000 is what it sold, listed and sold by Tammy Gunner. So
Wow.
and this was a
Tammy.
cash sale.
Man.
Cash.
Oh.
I did find
Poor
it
banks.
interesting. Yeah, yeah, nothing for you.
Yep.
I did find it interesting that it went under contract back in August,
Okay.
and it did take this long to sell. So maybe that person had some investments, or he did a 1031 exchange. I don't know.
Or probably just some significant due diligence.
Yeah, on a big house
On a
because
big-
it was 3,800 heated, on the water. I mean, it was nice.
And you can tell it's built for the point.
Yes.
Like that, the house comes to a point to a
Yep.
degree that probably creates this panoramic view of the lake.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
And how big was the land? Did you know? Do you remember?
I can tell you.
No, you're good. You're
No,
good.
I don't
It
remember.
was just, I'm just curious if it was acreage on the lake. That's really what I was curious about. But still,
I think it had a little bit, but not 2.7. So yeah.
2.7 is a nice size lot on the lake there
Yeah.
to capture a point. On top of that, that's typically the most desired for these open lakes like this. Where
Yeah,
you
I mean,
can-
it had the steps going up to the front door. Like,
yeah,
be my dream home if I wanted to live in the middle of nowhere.
yeah. Well, I mean, what's 50-minute drive to Walmart? Now there's a Walmart in Jonesboro, I think. But
There is.
anyways,
Yeah,
well,
so-
congratulations, Miss Tammy Gunter, on your $1.15 million sale.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
absolutely. I mean, I was shocked when I saw it this morning at 6:30 when I was pulling these.
Yeah.
Blew
Well,
my mind. So yeah.
Dawn, thank you for staying out late, eating all the candy, taking care of the kids, and then getting up early here for a little bit of local wisdom.
Yep.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you for watching. This has been another episode of Local Wisdom. We'll be back next Tuesday, Lord willing. But as always, I hope you have a marvelous day.